Today, we are presenting you a trio of really exciting research papers. There's a lot of research in 3D printing ongoing, but I can't remember the last time when on the same day, well, these guys came out, the papers came out over the last couple of days, but I can't remember I've read on the same day three different papers that all have such big implications and are portents of a future where 3D printing is an even more vast and exciting technology. So the first one is a publication in Nature, and this is about mixing multiple aerosolized nanomaterial inks during printing. So it's a mixing nozzle that essentially, as you can see, mixes these two different aerosol inks and potentially more on the fly during the print process. So this is in situ mixing, means that you can combine these tiny particles into gradient materials. You can make kind of different gradients of different properties. So this in and of itself is of course exciting. It's an area where other people and other technologies are working on. But how the team wants you to also think about this technology is a way to discover new materials and a way to discover new types of ways that the single print nozzle can vary the ink ratio on the fly and then mix and print these materials to either get gradient parts, but also completely new materials. So it's a material discovery kind of engine, if you will. And their idea is to get these library of materials and then build upon that library. You could of course see how that could be really exciting to find things that are like good as a sponge or good as a kind of a combination of different types of elements, and good as kind of a spongy kind of filter, and that spongy kind of filter could be combined with other libraries of materials. And that's a really exciting approach. So I think this is something that we should be looking to, and other people should look at how to replicate this technology in other ways, because this could be what we're looking for. Think about like if you want a particular thing with a particular properties, such an approach, which you can kind of do with other technologies to a certain extent, powder bed, and to a certain extent FDM and other type of technologies, that could be a really exciting way to get materials, or actually kind of like metamaterials made in a very, very fast, even automated way. Imagine if you use this system in an automated way and just essentially randomly applied materials and randomly mixed in settings and randomly changed these, just tested them. And then you could find out at one point, you think, oh wait, this random combination of materials is actually the greatest material ever for a shock absorber or whatever. Or an integrated housing and lens or whatever. So this I think, the method is called a high throughput combinatorial printing, HTCP. The paper is called High Throughput Printing of Combinatorial Materials from Aerosols by Mingshan Zhang of the University of Notre Dame. And you can read that on Nature and other places. So I think this is really exciting. This is a lot of implications, and I think just the methodology is great. Come up with a technology like this if you're a researcher, because this could be huge. The next approach is a scintillant no temperature route to 3D printed nanoscale optical grade glass. So glass has been a hot topic, difficult topic for us to make true optically clear glass. LuxExcel has done it. Glassamer and other companies are trying to do it. And these researchers now come up with the low temperature glass that could be used in things like compact electronics, optoelectronics kind of things, MEMS, other kind of applications. Now what they're doing is they're mixing a hybrid, or they're essentially got a hybrid organic inorganic polymer resin that can result in transparent fused silica at temperatures of 650 C. This is around 500 degrees less than other processes. So it's a 2PP, two photon polymerization process, and it makes freeform silica nanostructures using something called a polyhedral dioligomic quinoane, I don't know, POSS, look it up. And they also say they have a significant increase in resolution. So this to me is anything in glass is exciting, because anything in glass is potentially breakthrough if it just has the right price and the right part of the right level of performance. So this is something, an area that I think any kind of another way towards this would be more than welcome. The next approach is a multimaterial mixing stereolithography approach. This is by Dr. Jose Marques Hueso of the Institute of Sensors, Signals and Systems at Heriot-Watt University, Edinburgh. They're doing essentially near infrared stereolithography. Now, what they've done with this thing is they've made they've realized that with this near infrared they can penetrate deeper into the part. deeper into the vat as the printing is done, up to 5 centimeters. Now, how have they done this, or how have they helped this along, is because they are essentially doing, they're essentially, what are they enabling? This is the most important thing. What are they enabling? They're enabling the printing of, let's say, an object with one material, and then subsequently you can print inside of that object using a completely different material. And you can harden that in a different way if you want to as well. So you can put different, you can actually mix different properties, different widely ranging properties, and really different widely ranging stereolithography materials as well. They use nanoparticles to use something called optical upconversion to allow them to actually maybe see things that are see-through that maybe are not see-through without those nanoparticles. So this this occurs at the focal point of the laser, so they maybe be able to make lots of different things. They may be able to make gradient parts, gradient materials, mix lots of different materials in a very intricate way. Think about the resolution you can get from stereolithography. Think about not having gradient material, but having gradient materials that are really, really dense networks of materials that mesh each other and have very, very different properties. This could be very, very exciting. So the combination of the resolution and the familiarity we have with stereolithography, and the fact that this can maybe really enable true multimaterial and gradient parts in stereolithography makes this another really exciting find as well. So these 3 papers to me have big consequences and are great new ways of looking at the technology. So this is wonderful news, and I think I hope we have other days